Hi, my name's Rick. I'm the lead game designer from Self-Made Miracle, which is a small independent studio from the Netherlands, and we're currently working on a 2D arena arcade game called Penarium, which we're doing in collaboration with Thomas Noppes from Grundysoft. Penarium is a high score based arcade game where you play as a little kid called Willy. Willy wants to go to a fantasy fair to see a show called The Penarium. But instead of watching the show, he ends up being a contestant on that very show, and that might seem like something very fun, were it not that the Penarium is actually a show in which the contestant is running for his life. He's unarmed, he can only jump and run, and has to survive in sort of a circus death trap that is constantly changing, and the only thing you can basically do about it is to try and survive while collect as many coins as you can. One of the key aspects to Penarium's gameplay, and for that matter probably almost any gameplay, is the balancing. Usually balancing a game is quite a hassle for a designer. The tools you get for them are quite often development consoles which you have to run while you're inside the game. You have to remember a lot of sometimes very abstract variable names, or you got to work your way through large XML files and try to find the right variable you need to reboot your game to have them reload the XML files again. Scroll a whole lot before you get where you need to be. Sometimes you even need to go into the source yourself and change the code, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but the recompiling or the compiling of the game just takes forever and can be really annoying, especially when you have to build on different devices at the same time. So over here at Self-Made Miracle we playtest Penarium quite regularly, and to go through the process of one of the things that I just described would be really annoying to do that while you're playtesting. So we came up with a system that allows us to really quickly change certain variables in the game, or actually rather any variable we want in the game, simply through a browser. And then when you press a certain button, the game will re-download the file from the server and insert it into the game so that it will adapt right away. This way we could change the variables really quickly during playtests, and I'd like to show you how that works. Alright, so let me just open my browser and show you how it works. It's got the system's got a couple of different sections. I'll start with the first one, which is basically the individual element balancer. Over here you can see all the different elements that are currently built into Penarium, starting with the basic rocket. And over here are all the variables. So it's got a carrier move speed, which is basically the speed that the rocket launcher moves on its rail. It's got an attack interval or reload time, whatever you want. It's got the movement speed of the rocket itself and the blast radius of the rocket. And you can see that we have different levels. Right now there's 4, and only 3 of them have been filled up for this element so far. So you can increase the difficulty of each antagonist object. So we've got the laser, the boulder, the crosshair, the wind machine, the water filler, the water cannon, the sweeper, the goo. This is the goo spitter, which basically spits out greenish stuff that slows you down. And you can clearly see here the drag. This is how much it slows you down, how many particles it spits out at a time, and you can see it increase as the level of the object increases. So I'll show you basically how this works by opening up the game. Let's see, that's right. So here I got an older version from Penarium, and at first, the first route, no element spawn, just to get you used to playing the game and collecting the coins without any pressure being put on you. And there's the rocket, and you can see it shooting now. at a fair interval. So let's say that we wanted to try quickly in a playtest to see if we could, how players would react if we would increase its attack rate, which is now being set to 2.5. Well, let's say we decrease that to 1, which means it's gonna launch its rockets much more quickly. So first you have to pick up the 5 coins again to get it to spawn. There it is. You can see that it launches its rockets much more faster immediately. I don't even have to. I restarted the game, but I don't even have to. If I just press U, it'll check for updates and immediately adapt to the new settings. So you know, if I go back to the browser, I'll change this back to 2.5 and automatically saves it. I can also add a new object in here as well. Another thing we got is quite interesting, is the progress. This basically shows Penarium's entire level structure so far. So every 5 coins you collect, you progress 1 round. So you can clearly see here that in the first round no elements spawn. In the second round I only get a rocket on the top layer. In the third round there's a random choice between a goose spitter spawning or a water cannon spawning, and on the lower reel a rocket or a crosshair will spawn. The fourth round will always contain a level 1 boulder and a level 1 water filler. And this way, you know, we can kind of set out the whole difficulty curve for the game. We can control exactly what elements are allowed to spawn at what time. I can demonstrate it easily by, you know, round 1 used to be empty, and I'll just put in, let's say, what will I put in? I'll put in a level 2 sweeper, save the data, and go back to the game. Let's see, I think I still got it open. Yeah. I'll just press U to check for updates, and there you see, immediately the sweeper spawns. And this way we can really easy on the fly change the entire balance of the game without going through any of the compiling process. A level editor is also included in here. Let's say I want an extra platform here, I can easily add that. I'll just press save, I'll go back into the game, press U, and as you can see a platform spawn here. So yeah, it's pretty useful tools. I've got an exclusion list over here. Some elements, or well, some enemy elements, some antagonist elements are meant to spawn together with others, and basically here we can create exceptions, and we say, like, you know, a shredder should never be allowed to spawn with another shredder, so you never get a double shredder, which is basically way too hard for any player to beat. And there's more of these things. And you can download the plist, which is the backbone of all of this, to back all your settings up by downloading this. Yeah, that's about it. It's a system that works really well, and if you'd like to know more about it, then you know, be sure to hit us up on Twitter or Facebook, or send us an email, whatever. Thanks for watching.